In a shocking betrayal that rocked Washington, President Donald Trump publicly humiliated Vice President J.D. Vance, torching his political future with a vicious backstab as a $1 trillion Medicaid-slashing budget bill sparked nationwide fury. Trump's brutal remarks and Vance's fiery missteps ignited chaos in Congress, fracturing the GOP and leaving protesters screaming for justice. This explosive tale of loyalty, ambition, and ruthless power plays exposes the raw underbelly of MAGA politics where no one is safe from Trump's wrath. Will Vance fight back, or will he become another casualty of the Trump machine? In Washington, D.C., crackled with tension in early 2025 as the second Trump administration barreled into power. President Donald Trump, newly sworn in as the 47th president, stood at the helm of a Republican Party that had coalesced around his vision. Vice President J.D. Vance, the young senator from Ohio, was his hand-picked running mate, a rising star, whose loyalty to Trump had transformed him from a one-time critic into a MAGA standard-bearer. But beneath the surface of their alliance, cracks were forming. What began as a promising partnership would soon erupt into a political firestorm, with Trump's actions threatening to derail Vance's future and plunging Congress into chaos days. After the speech, whispers began circulating in Republican circles. Trump, known for his unpredictable nature, was reportedly growing frustrated with Vance. The vice president's outspokenness, particularly on foreign policy, was starting to grate on the president. Vance had made headlines with his aggressive stance during a February 28 Oval Office meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. The meeting, intended to discuss the U.S.-Ukraine mineral deal, had descended into chaos when Vance berated Zelensky for being disrespectful to Trump and failing to show enough gratitude for U.S. support. "You should be thanking the president for trying to save your country," Vance snapped, his voice sharp as he leaned forward in his chair. Zelensky, visibly taken aback, shot back, "What kind of diplomacy, JD, are you speaking about? What do you mean?" Vance didn't back down. "I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country," he retorted, his tone dripping with condescension. Trump, initially silent, joined the fray. "You're gambling with World War III, he bellowed at Zelensky. "You're not winning this. You've done enough talking." The exchange, broadcast live, stunned the nation. Democrats condemned it as disgraceful and un-American, while some Republicans privately worried that Vance's brashness had escalated the situation unnecessarily. Trump, however, seemed to revel in the confrontation until he didn't. Behind closed doors, aides reported that Trump was irritated by Vance stealing the spotlight. "I'm the one who's supposed to be tough on Zelensky," Trump reportedly complained to his inner circle. "JD's acting like he's running the show." The tension simmered as spring turned to summer. By July 2, 2025, the administration faced a new crisis, a massive budget bill that slashed $1 trillion from Medicaid to fund tax cuts for the wealthy and increased spending on immigration enforcement. Vance, tasked with selling the bill to the public, took 2x to defend it. "Don't worry about Medicaid cuts," he posted. "What matters is locking up illegals and securing our border." The message backfired. In swing states, voters, of them Trump's own base, erupted in anger. "We're losing our health care so billionaires can get richer," shouted a protester at a rally in La Crosse, Wisconsin, where 130 people marched to their congressman's office. Kristen Crowell, an organizer with Fair Share America, told reporters, "MAGA voters aren't stupid. They see through this scam. They're furious, and they're not going to forget who sold them out." Vance's misstep gave Trump an opening. On July 3, aboard Air Force One, Trump spoke to reporters in a press gaggle that would change everything. "JD's doing his best." "Okay," Trump said, his tone patronizing. "But he's young, he's learning. Sometimes he talks too much, doesn't know when to stop. I picked him because he's loyal, but loyalty isn't enough. You gotta deliver. You gotta know what you're doing." The words hit like a sledgehammer. Reporters exchanged glances, sensing blood in the water. When pressed about Vance's future, Trump smirked. "We'll see how he does. I've got a lot of great people. Marco Rubio's doing fantastic. Elon's killing it. JD, he's got to step up or step out." The press exploded with headlines. "Trump throws Vance under the bus, and is JD Vance's VP role in jeopardy?" Democrats pounced, with Senator Jeanne Shaheen tweeting, "Trump's already turning on his own VP. This administration is a circus." Republicans, meanwhile, were divided. Some, like Senator Lindsey Graham, defended Trump. "The president's just being honest," Graham said on Fox News. "JD's got potential, but he's got to learn to play ball." Others, like Senator Lisa Murkowski, were less forgiving. "This bill is hurting my constituents," she said, referencing the Medicaid cuts. "And the vice president's out there making it worse. It's a mess." Vance, blindsided by Trump's comments, scrambled to respond. In a hastily arranged interview on CNN, he tried to project confidence. "The president and I are on the same page," he insisted. "We're focused on making America great again. I'm not going anywhere." But the host, Dana Bash, pressed him. "The president said you need to step up or step out. That sounds like a warning. Are you worried about your future?" Vance's face tightened. "I'm not worried about anything," he snapped. "I'm here to serve the president and the American people." If he's got advice, I'll take it, but I'm not some kid who needs a pat on the head. Behind the scenes, Vance was furious. In a private call with a close aide, he vented, "I've been loyal to a fault. I've taken every hit for him, and this is what I get." A public slap in the face. The aide tried to calm him. "He's just blowing off steam, JD, you know how he is." But Vance wasn't convinced. "He's setting me up to take the fall," he said. "If this bill goes south, it's my head on the chopping block." The situation escalated on July 4, when Trump addressed a crowd at a migrant detention facility in the Florida Everglades. The visit was meant to highlight his immigration crackdown, but Trump used it to double down on his criticism of Vance. "I've got the best team," he told the cheering crowd. "Marco Rubio, he's a star, got 100 votes in the Senate, thanks to JD, sure, but mostly thanks to me. JD's learning, but he's got to keep up. We don't have time for rookies." The crowd roared, but social media lit up with speculation. "Trump's throwing shade at his own VP," one ex-user posted. "This is brutal." In Congress, the budget bill was unraveling. House Republicans, facing pressure from constituents, were wavering. "I can't vote for this," one GOP congressman told reporters anonymously. "My district is getting crushed by these Medicaid cuts." And Vance is out there saying it's no big deal. He's making it impossible to defend. Protests erupted outside the Capitol, with signs reading "Save Medicaid, Dump Vance," and "Trump betrays his base." Democratic lawmakers seized the moment. "The vice president is out of touch," said Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. "He's telling working-class Americans to suck it up while Trump hands billions to his cronies. It's disgusting." On July 5th, the House vote on the budget bill loomed. Vance, desperate to salvage his reputation, met with a group of Republican congressmen in a closed-door session. "We need to stand united," he urged. "This bill is about securing our borders and making America strong. Don't let the media twist this." But the room was hostile. "You're the one twisting it, JD," one congressman shot back. "You told people to ignore the Medicaid cuts. My voters are losing their health care. How am I supposed to explain that?" Another chimed in. "You're supposed to be a voice, but you're just parroting Trump, and now he's hanging you out to dry." Vance's jaw clenched. "I'm fighting for the same things you are," he said. "If you don't like it, take it up with the president." That evening, Trump took to Truth Social, posting a message that sent shockwaves through Washington. "JD's a good guy, but he's got to learn. You don't upstage the boss. We're fixing America, but we need team players. Big things coming, and I need people who can deliver. Stay tuned." The post was a dagger. Political analysts called it a public demotion, with some speculating that Trump was already eyeing replacements like Rubio or even Elon Musk, who had become a close advisor. Trump's signaling he's ready to cut Vance loose. One CNN pundit said, "This is a brutal backstab." Vance's allies tried to rally around him. "The president's just keeping everyone on their toes," said one aide. JD still got his trust, but the damage was done. On X, users piled on Trump's throwing Vance under the bus. One post read, "Guess loyalty only goes one way in MAGAland." Another user wrote, "JD thought he could ride Trump's coattails to 2028. Good luck with that now." The hashtag Vance betrayed began trending, with memes of Vance looking dejected behind Trump during the congressional speech. On July 6th, chaos erupted in Congress. The House vote on the budget bill was delayed as Republicans fractured. Moderates, led by a small group of swing district congressmen, refused to support the bill without changes to the Medicaid cuts. "We're not going to let our voters suffer," one said in a fiery speech on the House floor. "The vice president can tweet all he wants, but we're not selling out our people." Democrats, smelling blood, pushed for amendments to restore healthcare funding. "This bill is a betrayal of the American people," said House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. "And the vice president's fingerprints are all over it." Vance, now fighting for his political life, appeared on Fox News that night. "The president and I are united," he insisted. "This bill is about putting America first." The media's blowing this out of proportion, but the host, Sean Hannity, didn't let him off easy. "The president's posts don't sound like unity," JD Hannity said. "He's saying you need to step up or step out. What's going on here?" Vance forced a smile. "The president's a straight shooter. He's pushing me to be better, and I'm up for the challenge." But his words rang hollow. Even Hannity looked skeptical. Back at the White House, Trump was meeting with Rubio and Musk. "JD's a good kid, but he's in over his head," Trump reportedly told them. "I need someone who can close the deal, not make a mess." Rubio, ever the opportunist, nodded. "I'm ready to help, Mr. President," he said. Musk, meanwhile, suggested a bolder move. "Why not shake things up? Put someone new in the spotlight. The base will love it." Trump grinned. "I like the way you think, Elon." By July 7th, the budget bill was in tatters. House Republicans, facing relentless pressure from constituents, voted it down in a stunning rebuke to Trump and Vance. Protesters outside the Capitol chanted, "No cuts, no Vance." Inside, the House chamber descended into shouting matches. "You sold us out." One Republican yelled at a colleague who voted against the bill. "You're handing the Democrats a win." Another shot back. Democrats, meanwhile, gloated. This is what happens when you let a reality TV star and his sidekick run the country, said Senator Elizabeth Warren. Vance's future hung in the balance. Once seen as a potential successor to Trump, he was now a liability. I gave him everything, Vance told a friend in private. I defended him, I sold his policies, I took the heat, and this is how he repays me. The friend urged him to fight back. You can't let him bury you, he said. Go public, call him out. But Vance shook his head. If I turn on him, I'm done. The base will crucify me. On July 8th, Trump held a rally in Ohio, Vance's home state. The crowd was electric, waving signs that read Trump dos mi vinci cinco and America first. But Vance's name was conspicuously absent from Trump's speech. We're building a great team, Trump said. Marco Rubio, Elon Musk, so many great people, we're going to make America greater than ever. The omission was deafening. Reporters at the rally noticed Vance standing off stage, his face grim. He looks like a man who knows his days are numbered, one journalist whispered. The fallout continued. On X, posts speculated about Vance's next move. Will J.D. Vance resign? One user asked. Another wrote, Trump's already picking his next VP, poor J.D. Never saw it coming. Political analysts debated whether Vance could recover. He's young, but this is a body blow, said one MSNBC commentator. Trump's made it clear, you're either with him 100% or you're out. Vance tried to play the loyal soldier, but he overstepped, and now he's paying the price. In the days that followed, Vance retreated from the public eye, canceling planned appearances. Rumors swirled that he was meeting with advisors to plot a comeback. He's not done, one ally insisted. JD's a fighter. He'll find a way to turn this around. But others were less optimistic. Trump doesn't forgive, a GOP strategist said. Vance thought he could be the heir apparent, but he misread the room. Trump doesn't share the spotlight. The chaos in Congress. SHOWED, no signs of abating. With the budget bill dead, Republicans scrambled to craft a new plan, while Democrats pushed for investigations into the administration's handling of the crisis. This is a leadership failure, said Senator Chuck Schumer. Trump and Vance, we promised a golden age, but all we've got is division and dysfunction. Protests continued outside the Capitol, with voters demanding accountability. We trusted them, one demonstrator said, holding a sign that read betrayed by Trump. They said they'd fight for us, but they're fighting each other. As the summer wore on, Vance's political future grew increasingly uncertain. Trump's inner circle began openly discussing replacements, with Rubio and Musk emerging as front-runners. JD had his shot, one aide said. He's not ready for a prime-time. Vance, meanwhile, remained defiant in private. I'm not going anywhere, he told a supporter. I've got the fight of my life ahead, and I'm not backing down. But the odds were stacked against him. Trump's betrayal had left him wounded, and the chaos in Congress had exposed the fragility of their alliance. The story of Trump and Vance, once a partnership built on shared ambition, had become a cautionary tale of loyalty and betrayal in the cutthroat world of politics. For J.D. Vance, the dream of a bright future in the MAGA movement lay in tatters, destroyed by the very man he had sworn to serve. And for Congress, the chaos was just beginning.